Class example 3, assessment of risks at the assertion level. You've got 6 marks, so 2 minutes reading time. Cars Limited has customers all over the world. As soon as I see that, I know that they have a risk at the financial statement level because of foreign regulations. And there's going to now be a risk at the assertion level for the revenue in terms of the accuracy, because you're going to have to translate. There's also going to be an additional risk for revenue in terms of cutoff, because at year end, when goods are being shipped, there is going to be a concern over when risks and rewards transfer. Foreign customers are invoiced in their respective currency, so that's really the point we need to see that there's going to be translation risks. During the year, Cars Limited listed on the JSE, so automatically I've got a risk at the financial statement level because there's listing requirements and there's a concern they don't comply with those requirements. On the back of an extremely impressive year, so an extremely impressive year shows that they are doing well. Credit terms and discounts are at the discretion of the sales representative. So I've automatically now got a concern here. In terms of my revenue cycle, there is a lack of segregation of duties because it's the sales representative who determines the credit terms and discounts, and I've got no authorization. For the credit terms, I've also got no creditworthy check. So a big concern with my cycle, my revenue cycle, and the customer management side of things. Discounts, I now automatically know that there is going to be a calculation for revenue or for the discount. So there's going to be a risk at the assertion level for my revenue because of discount calculation and classification. So accuracy and classification. Because there's a risk that a discount is classified as part of revenue or not removed from the revenue. So it's classified incorrectly, and then if the amount is calculated incorrectly, it's going to affect the revenue as well as the discount. Okay, ABC provides for credit losses at 2% of the trade receivable balance. So now this is going to give me a risk at the assertion level with regards to my valuation of trade receivables, because that is their policy for determining their credit losses. Required. Describe the risks of material misstatements. So automatically I'm saying inherent and control risks at the assertion level for revenue. So I'm only looking for risks at the assertion level with regards to revenue. So where do you start, guys? Well, you've got to first put down here, there are IFRS requirements for revenue, and I now need to find out if there are any risks here that make me believe they might not comply with those IFRS requirements. I'm now also going to put down what are my assertions so that I consider all if they are relevant. So for revenue, I know there's going to be completeness, occurrence, accuracy, cutoff, classification, and presentation and disclosure. A little secret, there's always going to be the risk for whatever balance or class of transaction you are auditing that it is incorrectly presented or disclosed in the financials. So one risk you will always put down And now I need to go into my information to see if I can pick up any other risks for revenue. So we had here, because of the foreign transaction, so I can go and say under accuracy, the translation. And so risk that your foreign are translated at the incorrect exchange rate, therefore the rand amount is wrong in the financials. And then cutoff for year-end revenue exports. The risk that, when do they determine the risks and rewards transferring? Because they haven't completed the delivery over year end, but it have risks and rewards transfer. Should they be recording the revenue or shouldn't they be? Risk there with regards to my cutoff. They listed. Now listed is a risk at the financial statement level, but guys, there are listing requirements with regards to revenue. So there's pressure here to achieve revenue figures. So there's a risk at the financial statement level. I can now go and add to my assertion level. So for the occurrence, because they are listed, the pressure to achieve this revenue expectation. Okay, credit terms, lack of segregation of duty, no authorization, no credit worthy. These are all weak controls. They're not actually giving me a misstatement, but I can then go, and they're all relating to your debtor anyway. Now for discounts, I can go and discuss the risk that the discount is classified incorrectly, so they don't actually remove it from revenue, and also the calculation of the discount. If it's incorrect, it's going to affect the revenue by default. Alright, so we're sitting here with 5 based on the information in the question. Is there anything else? Guys, I'm going to tell you now, there is a nice risk that you can always put down for revenue, and it's that there is, or it's revenue recognized when it shouldn't be in terms of ISA 240. Now, I know we haven't done ISA 240, but that is a risk that you will find in the auditing standard that is specifically addressed to revenue. And so you can go and put it down. Now I've put down everything in the question. You now need to now go and consider the IFRS requirements. Is there anything in the requirements that IFRS have that could affect the revenue recording? Okay, and guys, if you go and have a look at the solution here, these are standard risks that appear when you've got revenue. So the risk that revenue is fictitiously recorded based on the incorrect treatment for identifying the contracts with customers. The risk that revenue is fictitiously recorded if recognized when they have not satisfied the performance obligations. Okay, those are 2 standard risks that you'll get with revenue because of the IFRS requirements. Alright, then other than that, guys, based on the information in the question, the translation, the cutoff, the listing, the discounts. Now, guys, they specifically mentioned discounts. They didn't mention local transactions, but if they do, then VAT becomes the exact same consideration as discounts. The fact that they might classify VAT incorrectly and then calculate it incorrectly, so that when they remove it, the revenue figure is wrong. And then the risk for fraud as a result of ISA 240. Another one that just came up here, high volume of transactions means there could be misstatements in the revenue. All right, so there were some easy, obvious ones that you needed to pick out from the information, and then some that you need to know your IFRS requirements to highlight those risks in the actual recording of the revenue. All right, now we're going to move on to significant risks.